This is Live News 16, and you're watching Breaking News with Janet MacArthur. My name is Mark Albert, and this is today's headline. Trade war intensifies as Canada and EU retaliate against Trump's tariffs. Janet MacArthur has the details.
Good evening, I'm Janet MacArthur, and you're watching Live News 16, where we bring you the latest developments shaping the global economy. Tonight, escalating tensions between the United States and its major trade partners dominate headlines as Canada and the European Union strike back against President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. On Wednesday, God-Arian for President Trump imposed a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imports into the U.S., marking a significant escalation in his administration's efforts to reshape global trade practices. These measures aim to protect American manufacturers, but have sparked swift retaliation from key trading partners. Canada, the largest supplier of steel and aluminum to the U.S., responded decisively. Starting Thursday at 12:01 a.m., Canada will impose 25% reciprocal tariffs on $29.8 billion worth of U.S. goods, including steel, aluminum, computers, sports equipment, display monitors, and cast iron products. Canadian Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc condemned Trump's actions as unjustified and unjustifiable, vowing that Canada would not stand idly by while its industries are unfairly targeted. Incoming Prime Minister Mark Carney also weighed in, signaling his readiness to negotiate with Trump, but only if the U.S. shows respect for Canadian sovereignty. Carney emphasized that renewing the world's greatest economic partnership is possible through cooperation rather than coercion. Across the Atlantic, the European Union announced retaliatory tariffs targeting $19.6 billion worth of U.S. exports. The list includes iconic American products such as beef poultry, bourbon motorcycles, peanut butter, and jeans. EU President Ursula von der Leyen expressed deep regret over Trump's move, calling tariffs bad for business and worse for consumers. She warned that prices will rise on both sides of the Atlantic while jobs remain at risk. The EU has strategically targeted products from Republican-held states like Kansas and Nebraska, while also hitting blue states like Illinois, aiming to maximize political pressure on Washington. Von der Leyen reiterated that the EU remains open to negotiations, but stressed that both sides must de-escalate tensions urgently. The trade war is already taking a toll on businesses and consumers. Companies face billions of dollars in losses and are likely to pass increased costs onto consumers. Spirits producers have been particularly hard hit. Chris Swanger of the Distilled Spirits Council warned that these tariffs would severely undermine U.S. whiskey exports to Europe, a market that had seen significant growth in recent years. Economists caution that while these tariffs may bolster domestic steel and aluminum industries temporarily, they could harm downstream sectors reliant on affordable imports. The American Chamber of Commerce to the EU echoed these concerns, stating that both sides must find a negotiated solution to avoid long-term damage to jobs and prosperity. With global trade tensions escalating, one has to ask what's next for international relations, economic stability, and the future of U.S. partnerships. This trade conflict is far from over. The EU plans a two-step implementation of its tariffs, reintroducing suspended duties on April 1st and adding new taxes on April 13th, targeting $19.6 billion in U.S. exports. Meanwhile, Canadian officials are set to meet with their U.S. counterparts this week as they push back against what Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly described as economic coercion. As tensions rise, global markets remain volatile amid fears of broader economic repercussions. We'll continue to monitor this developing story closely here on Live News 16. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Janet MacArthur reporting live. Stay tuned for more updates.